President Taco Tits is in full-blown dementia. It should be the top story all day, every day. He slurs. He can't keep a train of thought. He talks about crazy shit all the time, and corporate media refuses to cover it. Instead, bizarrely, CNN trotted out Jake Tapper for like 4 or 5 weeks talking about Joe Biden. I have a hot news flash for everybody. Joe Biden is not president. And when Joe Biden was president, he deported a lot more people than President Taco Tits, and every single one of them had due process. Trump is so incompetent at deporting people that now they're just saying, you know what, we're going to send him to alligator Alcatraz because all of his depraved followers like the idea of watching a human being getting eaten alive by an alligator. That's where we are. They act like this is normal. They act like it's fun, and they're selling merch for it. Here's a clip of senile 95-million-year-old Taco Tits talking unintelligibly about washing machines and straws. And we're no longer chipmunking his voice because you need to hear how insane and listen to his speech pattern. The dementia is really, really going strong.
How good we were, but others was getting rid of rules, regulations, and all of the things that I got rid of already. I signed more executive orders than anybody in history, times like 3 or 4. And I got rid of just one. I got rid of the other night. You buy a house, they have a faucet in the house, Joe, and the faucet, the water doesn't come out. They have a restrictor. You can't, in areas where you have so much water, they don't know what to do with it. You have a shower head, the shower doesn't, you think it's not working. It is working. The water's dripping out. And that's no good for me. I like this hair lacing. I like that hair nice.
Look at the makeup line.
Okay, Kylie, pause that and just go back a little bit if you can to that makeup line with the hat off. Okay, so here he's about to take. Look at that, you guys. Look at how white he would be without all the bronzer and the self-tanning cream that he puts on. Okay, thanks for doing
Look
that.
at his hand. Look at his hand and his forehead are the same color, but then the lower part of his face completely different. Like it's a different person.
We have a president of the United States puts on makeup every single day. Okay, and we love. I mean, if men want to wear makeup, we're your biggest ally. We'll fight for your right to do it. But Taco Tits needs to get somebody to apply his makeup, and this is what happens when you dismantle DEI. You dismantle creativity, and you can see it. What's going on here? You can especially see it with the inferior desecration going on in the Oval Office, because I can assure you, no gay decorator would have anything to do with that. Okay, please proceed.
I like that hair, nice and wet. Takes you have to stand in the shower for 20 minutes before you get the soap out of your hair. And I put a thing in, and it sounds funny, but it's really not. It's horrible. And when you wash your hands, you turn on the faucet, no water comes out. You're washing, the water barely comes out. This was done by crazy people. And I wrote it all off and got it approved in Congress so that they can't just change it, because I did it in my first term. Everyone was so happy. And then one of the first things that Biden did when he came back is he put the restriction on showers, toilets, and sinks. Put this restriction, and washing machines. The washing machine, they give you like a quarter of this bottle to do your clothing.
All this is a complete lie.
People needed 10 of these bottles. It's competitive. We can't make a machine anymore. It doesn't work. Why? They don't let us use water. Do you have any problems with water? No, we have so much we don't know what to do with it. You know, it comes down from heaven, right? And I approved all of that, the washing machines, the whole thing. The dishwashers, that was the other one. They give you like this much water right up to there to do your dishes. So people, you know what they do? They keep pressing the button. So they end up doing the dishes 10 times. They end up using more water than you would have used if you did it right in the first place. So all of that stuff has been written off. It sounds crazy. It's little things.
It sounds crazy because it is.
It is crazy.
Okay, go on.
I let you go back to a plastic straw. I was tired of having straws melt in my mouth, you know? It wasn't working. The paper wasn't working too well. So these are little things that I did.
With his golf.
Those are little things that Dear Leader did. I mean, I remember during Barack Obama's term, as an interior designer, I went to my client's house and I was doing an install, and I put some light bulbs in the lamp like you would, and I turned on the lamp, and my client gets home. She's a Republican. And she goes, "How were you able to get an incandescent bulb?" And I go, "I bought it at Target or Walmart." And she goes, "Well, you know, Obama's made them all illegal. I'm surprised you could get it." Like I snuck in some, and this is something that goes on in the right wing media
Right.
world that they say, okay, the Democrats are controlling your washing machine and your shower. And there is such a thing as flow restrictors. And oftentimes, we probably shouldn't do this, but people remove it after it passes inspections. These are not huge issues. These are issues that people who feel like they have a duty over the environment and are planning for future generations and not just this generation's are trying to conserve and make the planet better. But this guy goes on, and this stuff hits hard on the right.
Couple things about this. Number one, I was surprised so few people clapped. I mean, he's in the middle of alligator Alcatraz. These people are snorting hate and cruelty, and they didn't find him cute or funny. And I would consider both of us very politically active. And never once in any conversation have I ever heard someone say, that dishwasher, you have to run it 10 times. Not to
Angie,
mention,
it's only this much water.
here's the deal. I would bet all three of my kids' lives that Donald Trump could no more load, put soap in, and start a dishwasher or washing machine than the man in the moon. I have real doubt he would know the difference. This is not a man that does his own laundry, for fuck's sake.
Furthermore, on this, the speech pattern, the slurring, the jumping from subject to subject, this is a man in massive cognitive decline. And all you need to know is how much he talks about his cognitive test.
How great
that would be like me walking in here and sitting down randomly to all of you guys that watch this channel all the time and going, well, Pumps, I got drug tested this morning. I'm negative for meth. If I were you all, I would immediately think, sounds like Miss Welch has been doing a lot of meth. Immediately.
It's a tell.
Why would somebody come in and point out something like that unless, in fact, he failed the cognitive test, which we all know he did? Okay, moving along. Here's another very disturbing video of him rambling on, slurring, complete senile old man pawpaw. Play the clip.
Of finding some way to get farm workforce and service sector workforce. And I think you've discussed somehow a program of people leaving on a sponsorship and coming right back. Can you give us a little more detail about that and why, in the view of some hardliners, it's not
Take care of our farmers and hotel workers and various other people, and we're working on it right now, and Ron's going to be involved, and you're involved already. So we have a lot of cases where ICE will go into a farm. These are guys working there for 10, 15 years, no problem. The farmers know them. We're going to put, it's called farmer responsibility or owner responsibility, where they're going to be largely responsible for these people. And they know these people. They've worked on the farms for 15 years, and all of a sudden so I have a great, Ron does, Christy does, we have a great feeling for the farmer and for others in the same position. And we're going to give them responsibility for people. And we're going to have a system of signing them up so they don't have to go. They can be here legally. They can pay taxes and everything. They're not getting citizenship, but they get other things. And the farmers need them to do the work. Without those people, you're not going to be able to run your farm.
Basically, what he's saying is he wants to be able to exploit immigrants for cheaper labor. And because the farmers have been calling him and complaining, then this is just going to echo into the construction sector and so forth.
Well, hotels.
And so on. And he'll make a caveat for whatever rich billionaire has donated to him, kisses his ass, and calls and makes a complaint. Hey, you just deported my crew. He'll reverse it on a case-by-case basis because he doesn't give a shit about any of this stuff. And this mass deportation is the wet dream of Stephen Miller. And I do want to point out Kristi Noem standing there next to Kitten Hill's Ron DeSantis. Well, Pumps and I were driving somewhere the other day, and I like to read articles to her. She drives me. She's driving Miss
Jennifer.
And so I was reading an article to her that came up. So apparently, you guys, this is some tea. Apparently, during this alligator Alcatraz tour, Kristi Noem's boyfriend / manager, Corey Lewandowski, was madder than a hornet that Ron Kitten Hills DeSantis showed up to alligator Alcatraz and was trying to upstage Kristi Noem because she thought it was going to be her moment with Taco Tits. And it was going to be Taco Tits and her. And she even had on her white MAGA hat with the gold lettering. We all know how much her dear leader loves gold. Well, apparently they got in a huge fight with Ron Kitten Hills DeSantis's team. And that just shows you, like, all of this is optics for them.
It's performative.
Posturing.
It's posturing. And one thing I think it's dangerous if we don't point it out. He said farmer responsibility, and then he said farmer ownership.
Oh, I missed that, Pumps.
He said,
That's a good catch.
he said responsibility, and then he said ownership. So this is remnant of slavery. Your boss owns you. So now they have control over you. This is nothing short of slavery, in my opinion.
Pumps, I missed that entirely. That is such a good catch on your point, and I think you're exactly right. And that is so devastating to hear.
Devastating.
Okay. And now here's our last video. Trump admits to corruption regarding Mayor Eric Adams. You can't make this up. Play the clip.
A Republican won the city, but you would think that a Republican would be able to win. Or you have a good independent running, Mayor Adams, who's a very good person. I helped him out a little bit. He had a problem, and he was unfairly hurt over this question. He made a statement to the effect that this is terrible. New York City can't have all these immigrants come in, and like he was indicted the following day. And I said, that was a phony indictment, and it was a phony indictment. That was a Biden indictment. I said, don't feel bad. I got indicted 5 times every time you opened your mouth. That was a bad group. That was a very dangerous group, I will tell you. These were not nice people. That was the only thing they could do. They had no policy. They had no skill. They had no anything. But they were very good at that. They were vicious, vicious, horrible people.
Okay, I just want to point out that two things should be pointed out at all times by anybody who's covering this man, whether it be corporate news or independent media commentators like Pumps and me. 2 things always stick out. Number 1, not all there mentally.
Right.
Number 2, titty baby, whining, crying, grievances, complaining. He's a victim, perpetual victim. Nobody likes a fucking whiner. It's awful to be around somebody who is constantly the victim. And this man, who I guess he is the beta male's idea of an alpha male.
Right.
That's how beta they are.
Yeah.
That when he starts complaining like this, they relate to it. They relate to, maybe they were a quick shot in bed at some point, and a woman kind of was like, well, that was fast. I'm out of here. I don't know what it is, but they always feel aggrieved. And so this is something that exists in the MAGA world. Their idea of masculinity is this real strange dichotomy where they act like they're big tough guys, but my God, get out the violence. Have you ever seen a bigger whining titty baby in your life? And it's nonstop with this motherfucker.
It's nonstop. He's not been happy a day in his life. But I will say, I really thought he was the number 1 whiner that I'd ever seen in my life. But Elon Musk, he's right there too.
Oh, a big titty baby. I'm going to tell you another one. Mark, I've been neutered Zuckerberg.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
What a titty baby. I mean, these guys,
It's the billionaires.
these guys have so much in their bank accounts and so little on the inside and probably between their legs.
I guess that's right.
All right. That's all we have for today. We'll see you all later.